This week marks the first anniversary of the death of a young woman in Hendersonville, a death that was ruled an accident.
But you're about to hear why her family says she was killed. Audio recordings obtained by the Channel 4 I-Team show why they believe police should reconsider this case. Here's the I-Team's Lana Offler with the first part of her investigation.
The medical examiner says Ashley Mason died after a fall at the lake, but her family says someone is responsible for her death, someone they say with whom she'd had a rocky and at times violent relationship. That's why her mother is making a case for murder.
I know what I want. I know I want to be with you. Ashley, I know you want me.
No, I want to be left alone.
Days before she died, Ashley Mason made a phone call.
Listen, I love you, but I don't want to be with you.
A call her family believes foreshadowed what was to come.
I know. He killed my daughter.
The woman's autopsy showed she died of an acute subdural hematoma, bleeding around the brain caused by a severe head injury. But her mother says, listen to the conversations her daughter had with her longtime partner, and another possibility arises.
I love you, I love you, I love you. I will prove it to you.
You're going to make me cry. You don't love me because you wouldn't have done what you've done.
Mason is talking to Lane McCammon, her longtime boyfriend, father of her child, and a convicted criminal. You're hearing their conversations because he was in jail. In fact, just 4 days before Mason was hospitalized, McCammon was released. And before he walked out of jail, the two had weeks of conversations that revealed a troubled relationship.
Lane, I can't do it no more. It's not about going to church and about going to counseling together. Like, you just damaged me too much, and I'm sorry, but I can't do it no more.
Several times, Mason tries to end the relationship, pointing to his cheating and alleged mental abuse. But McCammon is persistent.
Like what you said in your letter, we'll go away somewhere. We'll get our son back.
But I'm trying to explain to you that I can't do it no more.
There were more problems not mentioned in the phone calls, but documented in court records. Years of allegations of physical abuse.
And I seen my child change. I seen her change into a person I didn't even know.
The I-Team discovered that McCammon has been charged 5 times for assaulting Mason. In 2007, someone witnessed McCammon attacking Mason on I-24. Metro Police found Mason with severe bruising on her body. 2 years later, police say he pulled a knife on her and accused her of cheating. Other incidents involved smacking Mason and smashing a hamburger in her face. Even their own child reported abuse. According to custody filings, their son, then 6, said he saw his father kick his mother in the head. He also disclosed his father abused her all the time.
I said, just stay away from him. He's no good.
But in all these cases, court records show McCammon was never convicted. We found the charges either dismissed or dropped by the state. And when it comes to Mason's death, McCammon was never arrested.
We looked at all those possibilities.
Was it enough knowing that there was a turbulent history between those two people?
No, that wasn't enough for an arrest. So we have to go on facts of the case.
But Mason's mother says it's a fact that in this call made just 2 days before Mason was released, her daughter dropped a bombshell.
I met a guy, his name's Kyler, and he's 19, and he is so good to me.
Kyler is Kyler Osborne, who told police Mason stayed with him for nearly 2 weeks until the day before McCammon was released. Osborne says he and Mason became intimate and explained her fears about McCammon.
You could tell she was scared of him, honestly.
Okay.
She told me stories about him beating the hell out of her.
Right.
But McCammon, still in jail at the time, tries convincing Mason the romance is just a fling.
Y'all have known each other for 2 weeks. Wow.
Look at all the you put me through. I'm not dealing with that. I'm starting over. I've been going through therapy. I've learned how to love myself, and I'm moving on.
But in the end, McCammon dismisses the idea of a breakup.
It's okay.
We can hang out.
1 day later, McCammon was out. Osborne says even though Mason left to meet McCammon, she left her belongings behind.
So the next day, after she left, we were supposed to go to the river and float the river with her and hang out with her and stuff. And she kept saying that she was coming.
But Mason never came back. Police say she and McCammon reunited, ending up at this condo in Hendersonville. By Monday, McCammon made another call.
911 location of your emergency. Do you need police, fire, or for medical?
Just medical.
The medical examiner ruled Mason's death an accident. Police say it appears Mason was drunk and fell and hit her head. The pair had been on the lake canoeing. But no one saw the fall, not even McCammon, who tells police she was already on the ground when he turned around. McCammon says earlier Mason had flipped their canoe twice, falling into the water, a conclusion this mother refuses to believe.
I just want justice for my girl, and I'm trying everything I possibly know to do to get it.
Detective Bachman says there's no proof of murder.
There was nothing to support that. If there was, we would have arrested him.
But one person alive today may know what happened. And we tried to find him at his old address. Even his own family doesn't know where he is. But police know how he explained what happened and got it on video.
I gotta ask you if you killed her.
No, sir.
Okay.
The I-team obtained McCammon's statement to police. He starts by describing a weekend that was supposed to be fun.
We was happy. We was enthralled about being around each other. We ain't seen each other in a while.
The couple had just reunited after McCammon's stint in jail. And a Channel 4 I-team investigation revealed their conversations behind bars showed a troubled relationship, compounded by court records showing charges for assault.
Ashley, I know you want me.
No, I want to be left alone.
And that Mason was seeing someone else.
Listen, I love you, but I don't want to be with you. I met a guy.
But when McCammon was released, the couple ventured out to a nearby lake. McCammon mentions the pair had been drinking, enough for Mason to allegedly flip their canoe not once, but twice.
And the water is like really shallow right there. But this time when she came up, it took her a second to come up.
According to a report, a witness told police he saw two people moving around in a canoe that night. But roughly 40 minutes later, this was captured by a neighbor's surveillance camera, a boat towing a canoe with only one person sitting upright.
She was just laying down, basically sunbathing.
In the canoe?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Basically sunbathing. Sometimes she'd sit up.
McCammon says within minutes, Mason tuffles again, this time walking back to shore. But again, no one sees her fall, not even McCammon.
So you don't know if her head hit anything at that point?
I don't know. I turned around. I saw her laying there.
So McCammon enlisted the help of a stranger who lived nearby. Joe Cole told police he placed Mason in a wheelbarrow after finding her in the grass. Cole says when they got to the road, Mason seemed with it and even helped herself into his van. Cole then drove the couple back to their condo. And that's when neighbors started calling 911.
And there was a naked woman coming straight at me with what looked like a boat paddle in her hand.
Cole says it appeared Mason stumbled toward the wrong condo, which may explain why this neighbor sounded so scared.
I think you're on some kind of drugs or something.
But another neighbor saw it differently.
I was right there at that bush. And when I saw her laying on the sidewalk right there, I knew something wasn't right.
Danny Harp lives next door. He says when he came outside, he saw McCammon standing over Mason, her bathing suit partially off. Looking back, Harp says the scene looked suspicious. He also called 911.
My shift to go is, we should have police officers out there right now.
Cole states he helped Mason into the condo, but by the time police arrived, the couple was inside. And while detectives say officers talked to McCammon, they left before ever seeing Mason. That's the moment her mother says could have changed everything.
Why did they not look at her to make sure she was all right?
And they were there that day. Why didn't they go inside and check on her?
My understanding is that they talked to Mr. McCammon through the door, so everything was fine.
According to police, officers responded to a call for public intoxication. That means they had no right to enter their condo, not without a warrant.
If someone had said that he pushed her down or they saw some sort of domestic violence, then most assuredly we would have gone inside to check it out.
More than 15 hours passed before Mason received medical help. McCammon says he didn't realize something was wrong until the next morning.
She generally is a late waker anyway. She sleeps a lot. So I didn't think nothing.
Do you view him as a reliable witness?
There was nothing to show that he was not being truthful.
McCammon claims he heard Mason get up during the night, but in the morning, when she wouldn't wake up, McCammon asked his dad to come over. 30 minutes later, they called for help. Through an open records request, we obtained part of that call.
911 location of your emergency. Do you need police, fire, or medical? Just medical.
Mason was rushed to the hospital. These are photos provided by her family. 3 days later, Mason was pronounced dead. A toxicology report found no drugs in her system and revealed only trace amounts of alcohol. The cause of death? An acute subdural hematoma, a bleeding around the brain. Dr. Craig Powell is a neurologist based in Texas.
And I think that if she had gone while she was conscious, then that would have made a huge difference in this case.
The autopsy indicates no scalp lacerations, no skull fracture. Yet the report does note discoloring and several abrasions throughout the body. Her family questions how Mason got bruised. But in phone calls, Mason herself gave several explanations. Keep in mind, at this point, McCammon was still in jail.
And I had a seizure and fell down the steps. I'm covered in bruises and covered in poison.
While McCammon was never charged in relation to Mason's death, the IT learned police did talk with prosecutors, specifically about what McCammon didn't do.
Why was he never prosecuted for not getting her help sooner?
We talked to the DA about that, and there's really not a statute that will address that.
Hendersonville police closed the case in 2015. Bachman says the department followed every lead, but in the end, they could only follow facts.
The case is where it should be at this time. Now, if something changes, absolutely, I'm more than willing to reopen it.
But the notion that Mason died by accident is one Mason's mother refuses to accept.
I mean, that's something you're never ready for. You're never ready for anything like that.